everyone, Dr. Colleen here, and of course, Miss Sleeping Princess Pixie. And today's video is going to be all about the shoulders. So we're going to work on toning and defining and rounding out this muscle group called the deltoids. So we're going to go through the series of strengthening and then follow up with the series of stretching. As I said in the earlier videos, I usually do a set first, and then I stretch while I'm resting until I get to the next set. But I'm going to split the two up just so you can get them all in a row and not mix up what is stretching and what is strengthening. So this is taking it to the next level. So you'll see other videos in there in the library that are more beginner intermediate. Now we're taking it to a really big section in the intermediate. I have free weights, so a dumbbell each side, and it challenges us. It challenges us so that we can't cheat with our dominant side. So I'm going to have to evenly stay balanced between the two. So even though my right arm probably could go up, I'm going to stick with the 8 pounds to keep it even with my left. Also from the front to the back, this muscle is quite strong. This muscle is I'm going to say it's more weak, but it's more challenged. But if I did 10, 12 pounds here, and then I was still struggling with 5 to 8 pounds back here, I may bring myself out of balance. Again, that's just how my mind works. Always wanting to keep everything toned. We also want to squeeze the muscle when we come up, so we get that extra added bonus. Okay, so we're going to start with, remember these are just demonstrations to give you the confidence, give you the explanation so that you can master the form of them, so that you can then join into one of these people I have linked below, some of their awesome classes that will help you be challenged on a weekly basis. Most of the programs are free except for a couple extra bonus stuff if you want to sign up for that, but they're all amazing and they keep me motivated, inspired, and strong. Okay, so I'm seated on a block right now just to help my comfort zone, but this is not how I would normally do these exercises, but you can do them seated. You can do them on your knees if that's comfortable. You can do it standing in squat stance, athletic stance, or staggered stance. And you can switch it up in between every one. I'm just doing this seated because of this room and the camera, and I don't want to have to keep changing the camera, make you guys dizzy. Okay, so we're going to start with Arnold Press. So we're going to safely bring the weights up. Remember, if we're at the gym, we want to get as close to the weight rack as possible, and we want to bring those weights in and carry them close to our hips if we're going to step back. Again, I always highly recommend looking in the mirror, because our proprioception, our ability to know where our body parts are in space, aren't always in perfect alignment. Okay, so we're going to grab our weights and we're going to bring them up. So my palms are facing my shoulders. Now remember, we always want a nice grip because we don't want to drop the weight, but we want soft dancing fingers. We also want to make sure the wrists are neutral. So even though this might seem more balanced with the weight, I'm going to bring it up just a bit, and that brings my wrists a little more neutral. My elbows are in at my side, and we're going to inhale to prepare, and then we're going to exhale. And what we do to exhale is the arms begin to turn, and then we go up, and then we're going to come back down. So I'm just going to turn a little bit. Inhale, exhale, they turn, and then we press evenly up. Mine kind of tap at the top and then lower down. And right now I'm just teaching you the 2-2 count. So we're going to inhale, exhale for 2, little tap, hold, and then lower back down for 2. Okay, now that will change based on what you are attempting to train, which is what those links below are awesome at creating those programs for that. This is all about just learning the movements, linking words 2 movements, and then come back down. Okay, and then bring those weights all the way down. So that was the Arnold Press. Remember, we're always working in the beginning, the 9 to 15, one set. Once we get to 15, where our form is I'm gonna say proper, but the last 2 or 3 are challenging. You're really feeling that, and that's the journey of finding out where I need to be at weights. Also, there should be a bit of awakening of those muscles, a bit of a burn the next day or the second day after that. But if it's so much, again, if it's your first time back to this, it might feel like a lot, but if it's so much that you don't even want to pick up the weights again, then I would back down in the weight and start from there, so that you don't get completely discouraged and write off strength training altogether. I see that happen so much. And so we just need to back down the weights. You need to let the body kind of flush it out, and lots of water after that, until you find what your sweet spot is. And then the next challenge will be to move out of that, because it does challenge those muscles, so we get a little achy. I can do some workouts and I walk away feeling no burn at this point, or maybe a tiny bit, and you think, did I do anything? Well, I'm definitely keeping my shape and my strength, but my body is stronger now. So the burn goes less, and then I do get excited when I'm in a class like what I did today, leg day. Oh my goodness, I am gonna feel that tomorrow, and I'm actually excited about it. It means I brought myself to the next level of challenge, whether increased weight or a more focused. It was very squat focused today. Okay, so that was Arnold Press. Hands forward, turn and press up. The next one is going to be just your basic, just stay forward, shoulder press. So again, soft fingers, neutral wrists, elbows are down here. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, execute, bring it up, and then lower down. And again, inhale, exhale. So you can get more of a flow. Inhale as you're preparing down, and exhale so you're ready to go back up. And then lower, inhale, and exhale. Now again, with an injury to my left shoulder and just not being my dominant side, it is a little shakier on the one side, and I have to really watch my form as I come down as well. So be wary of that. You can have a journal next to you, kind of write down from left to right, front to back, how you're feeling balanced. Okay, this one I'm going to come up onto my knees, I think. Yeah, I don't quite lose my whole head. Maybe I'll just do an elevated. There we go. So this one is called a front raise. It's working obviously the front of the deltoid, giving us that little rounded front area. Oh, hey, sweet pea. And you can do this 2 arms or 1 arm. So if I had 5 pounds, I could do the 2 arms, but with the 8, I like sticking to the single arm so that I can keep the weight higher. Like I said, keeping it balanced with the 2 other exercises we just did. But you'll see how much more challenging this is, because I am lifting the weight away from my center of gravity. So it's coming all the way out here. And we don't want to throw it up and let it slam back down. So if that's the case, you need to go down in weight. We're lowering it, and then down, and up, and down. And again, this left one doesn't want to stay up there for too long. And on one more, inhale. Sorry, that was an exhale. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, execute. Do a couple more since I didn't do the breath. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. And if you don't want to do it in an even flow, inhale, exhale. Take that extra break in between, especially when you're attempting to go up in weight and you want to add that strength in there. Okay. So work a lateral raise, and obviously that's going to come out to the sides. Okay, so another, again, working on that rounded. Some people come straight arm out. If you need a little bit slight bend or a full bend, whatever works for you is fine. Now remember, as I said in some of the other videos, we want to learn, do I have hypermobile joints? When I bring my arm out like this, is my wrist below my elbow? Does my elbow pop up? If that's the case, strength training and stretching training, you want to always make sure that you have that slight bend. You don't want to come out and lock and pop into those. It just makes the elbow very vulnerable at that point. And then especially when you're putting weight on it, okay? So lateral raise, a lot of times I do the bent arm one, especially again, because I'm using the 8 pounds. So if I'm all the way out here, it's a lot more challenging than just in this little area, but I want to keep my shoulders as, in my mind, as even as possible. Okay, here we go. Inhale, exhale, and then lower down. So what we don't want to do is this and come on down. We want those shoulders to be back and down in that good wall posture. Check out that video on learning the muscle memory patterns that you currently have, and then how to begin to retrain them into balance. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Great job. Okay, so that was lateral raise. Reverse fly. This one is even more challenging because of its not so much use. It's a very small area back there, but we're now working the rear delt back here. So I am going to come up into a full kneeling position. If I was standing, I would be in a bent over position. I don't know why, but I put my thumbs on the weights like this. And so I need to be bent over enough so that I can go into a fly. And exhale. Inhale, squeeze, lower it down. Let's go right here. Squeeze. So I would prefer to be a little bit more bent over for this, but we're going to work with what we have. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, now I really do push my air out, as you probably can tell in these videos. It really helps execute the movement. When I'm teaching, I'm talking, so that is helping the breath flow happen, but it really does help get that out. And you want to be breathing while you're working out. It's cleansing, but it's also empowering. Okay, single arm push press. So we're going to bring both up next to the shoulders. My elbows are in at my side, and I'm going to inhale, and we're just going to push one arm up and then lower it back down. Inhale, exhale, and lower back down. So now you can feel the core engaging since we're doing a unilateral exercise. So when you're standing, you're going to have to stay grounded in both feet. So we want this nice and slow, and release. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. One more inhale, and exhale. And then lower that all the way down. Okay, last one we are going to do. There are more exercises that you can do, just really focusing on the ones that I do, but also the ones that we can get done in this camera space as well. So when you get bored of these, like I said, check out those awesome programs down there, or let me know, And I can do a whole standing series, which could add in a few more. Okay, so we did the rear delt, or the reverse fly, which was a little further out with the arms. Okay, this one is going to be more of a bent arm rear delt row. Okay, so I'm going to start with my palms facing forward. Again, I would want to be completely bent over in this type of position. It's just a little challenging being on the knees. So I'm going to be slightly lifted, and we're going to inhale and exhale, execute. Turn just a little bit. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. So this is easier than the reverse fly. A little closer to the body, but I'm also working some more back muscles as well, so they help this one. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So I want you to note real quick, my neck is neutral, trying to keep that spine with my natural curve, the neck as neutral as possible. So those ones you are looking down at the floor a little bit more. So again, if you're at the gym, take a look at yourself in the mirror, and then whenever we're in a bent over position, it's okay, that was me. When we're in a bent over position, you want to return that neck back down, not extending it up, trying to watch yourself the whole time. But check in, especially if you get a cue from the body that you might be out of position. And again, left to right, always watching that. Okay, so that concluded our strength section. We did the Arnold press, we did the shoulder press, we did the front raise, we did the lateral raise, we did the reverse fly, we did a single arm push press, and then we finished off with the rear Delt Row. That's plenty if you want to get these nice and strong, rounded and toned. Ooh. From there, we're going to go into the stretching. Okay, pretty basic. There's one included in one of the other exercises, is across the body shoulder stretch. Okay, so this is opening up the whole back side of the shoulder. My hand is not on my wrist or my elbow. I'm not yanking it across. You can just go here though. So feel where your range of motion is, and then see if we can get it a little bit further and a little bit higher up on the body. But again, we want to keep this shoulder dropped and down. Okay, and I'm just giving it a slight pull, but depending on your shoulder, you might not have to do that. So we do these for 6 to 8 breaths or a 1 minute hold now that we're nice and warmed up. And then you'll switch to the other side. And again, just adjust accordingly. And then the next stretch we're going to do is also one we did for the biceps section, is going to be intertwining or bringing the hands together and opening up, as you can see, this front part of the shoulder. So you'll feel it in your biceps, which also got some workout today in this. You'll feel it in the chest, but again, neutral, open. It's not loose. We don't want to add any extra extension, just nice and opening. Okay, then guess I'll stay this way for this one so you can see it. Now again, you have to see how your body feels for this. We're going to take the arm out to the side, palm faces away. We're going to bring the hand back behind us. Again, if you're here, if you need a band, which I can't reach right now, you could put the band in this hand and then just hold it, trying to get this shoulder to drop up and open. And then when you can get it back behind your back. So the behind the back, you'll feel that in the whole capsule. And again, just make sure when you're done, you safely release it. Go to the other side, bring that back. And again, this is a good one to evaluate your left and right shoulder range of motion. This one is so easy for me to come back, and this one is a lot different feeling. So still good, I can get them to go to the same range of motion place, but I definitely am getting different feedback, but I want to always keep them as balanced as possible. Okay, shoulder rolls, always a good one to do throughout the day because we use our arms a lot. And then forward rolls. Really just let that lift. Inhale, exhale. You can also just lift them up and then let them fall down. Lift them up and let them fall down. And lift them up and let them fall down. Another favorite, you always see them end classes like this, aerobics classes, is just opening. And again, if you watch yourself in the mirror, make sure both hands can evenly come up and then lower back down. And then the last one, if you want to add it, it's going to move these weights, is that forward fold with arm extension. Again, you can stay on a block for these. And I'm just going to reach forward. Take your time, get here, walk the hands out, and then drop that that head down between your shoulders. And you can go flat hand or bring it up onto the fingertips, change that stretch up a bit. And again, we always come out of this, we inhale to prepare, we exhale, we tuck our chin, and then we slowly roll up and out of that. Oh, that one felt really good. All right, so that was our shoulder or deltoid strengthening and stretching series. I hope you enjoy it. Take your time with it. Most importantly, keep those shoulders down as you're doing all of those lift exercises. And I hope you have an awesome day.